All right, I'm here with Roscoe. That's not a command for you to jump up. Roscoe is a, well, he thinks he's a guard dog for multiple reasons, and that's why it's appropriate we're doing this. In this video, this is a temper tantrum, so I'm not giving him a treat, I'm just letting him sniff it to try to stop the barking. Sit. I can give him a first sitting. In this video, I'm going to go over how you can teach your dog to move away from the door when somebody knocks. Now, in order to do this, well, first of all, you need a location for the dog to go. You see a gray floor mat right there. So that's going to be where we want him to go. The guardians here work in entertainment, so we're going to call this places. Places means he needs to go there. Now, the first way I'm going to do this is without anybody at the door or any knocking, because that's going to cause him to get excited and run there. So I want to kind of create a positive association with going over here first. And you saw that, he's a little bit of a herding breed. He likes to nip people who move around. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll a treat there and say places. So he's got to have one or more paws on there and say places. Now I'm only going to do this about 5 or 6 times. Places. Remember, treat goes in the mouth first, here's the command word after. But places, I would grab like 20 treats, and you could probably just tear these treats in half and get more bang for your buck. Places. So after enough repetition, you should be able to say places and he goes there. I wouldn't do the next stage that I'm about to show you until you say places and he goes there on his own. Places. All he has to have is one paw on there. And again, try to get yourself a light gray. That'll work, but something that's it really pops if it's a really light color. So light gray, white, or cream is usually a color that I like. Before, if you notice, he was going over here. Now he's waiting closer to places. Places. I'm going to lure you away so we can wrap it. Places. Okay, so that's the first stage. So you want to keep on practicing so you can be sitting there doing a puzzle in the next room or whatever. You say places, and he runs over here and goes straight there. So that's the first stage. The next stage is to desensitize him. And I'm going to have one of the guardians who's off camera right now help me with this one. So I'm going to have you just, without him looking, when I get done with this sentence and stop talking, I'm going to have you lean over and knock on the wall to your right. So for most dogs, they hear that sound and they rush through the door. That's a classically conditioned response. Every time there's a knock at the door, there's about to be invaders. So I run over there because I'm the security dog. I have to be there to help. So what we want to do, that definitely is not something we want to do. You're going to growl and grumble again. So I'm luring him off of me. So now I can, so you see that difference in his ears. So that was a bit of a sharper knock. So when you guys are watching TV or just lounging or hanging out and he's not paying attention, reach over and knock on some wood or the wall. And then if he runs the door, you don't go to the door. So we're desensitizing him from that. And then that makes him less likely to want to go over there. All right, so now what we're going to do is actually, I'm going to have the cameras take a couple steps towards me. I forgot I need some help, so you're going to have to be a production person. I apologize. I'm going to have you go just to the door, and you're just going to knock for me. So when I do this, I usually like to come up with a command word that is variable. I don't want to always say now, now, now. Eventually, now, dog knows now means there's just something that's coming. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll say a number in the middle of a sentence, or a color, or a city, or an actor name, whatever you want to come up with, so it's a varying, changing thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, have him show him that I have a treat. And what we'd like to do is time it out. So get ready. 11. And that causes him to go away. So what I did there, this is a little bit of a counter conditioning exercise. And I got to let people who watch it online say, he's doing it wrong. I do it this way intentionally. So I want to create, you saw that reaction. He's used to going to the door when he hears it. That was a different sound than when he knocked on the wall. That's why he did that. So what I want to do is at first I want to have him have a treat in his mouth while he's here. Then the stimulus happens. So I'm going to put this down. As soon as he licks it up, go ahead and knock. Okay, so that was like 4 knocks. So you saw that was hard. So next time what we're going to do is we're just going to do 1 light knock. Oh, quite a bit lighter next time. That's okay. So you saw he ran over, but without the same verve and vigor. All right, so let's try to do even a lighter knock this time. So he heard it, but he didn't race over there. So now we can start raising the criteria a little bit. But I'm also going to change it up. So now the first time we're going to do is a knock that same lightness, but we're going to flip it. So he's going to be here. The knock's going to happen. Then he's going to get the treat. Then I'm going to say places. So get ready. Places. Places. Now we can start raising the criteria a little bit. So I'll get him off his mark. Go get it. Like, I'm not falling for that. Oh, gotta use your nose to find it. This floor is hard. It's the same color. There you go. Okay, so now places. That's not, you're barely on places, but we'll give you credit for that. Now let's do 2 knocks about the same intensity level. Places. So you saw we raised the criteria. That was too much for him. And you're going to have to, when you're doing this, you're going to kind of have to marry these things up and change your criteria and the intensity level. It also depends on what he's been doing. If he's been sleeping all day, he's got a full of juice, you might have to be lower. Exercising, like we talked about off camera, ahead of time can set them up for success. So let's do a couple more. So get ready. Places. Sit. Places. Here. I would like to get him off his mark and then on his mark. Places. Let's do one more. This time let's do kind of a police knock. 3 knocks, please. Places. This time he didn't race to the door. Now this is I'm doing this a very accelerated process. So stage 1 is you're just tossing the treats here until you can say places and he goes over there. And at the same time, we're also knocking on walls at different times when nobody's outside, nobody's at the door. Stage 2 is where we're going to actually have somebody, and you might sometimes do this when I have an earwick and I have the person outside, because right now you can do it inside. Now it's like, oh, it's you. Well, we want to recreate. Where are people going to knock? They're not going to knock on this door. They knock on the outside door. So you might recreate that and have your earwick in, have them over there. Places. So again, you're going to do first your outside door, then this door. You can also do other things. So now I'm going to do, and this is kind of the bonus version of it. You're not supposed to be nipping at me. I'm giving you a lot of treats. I want to have you unlock and lock your deadbolt. Places. So you see, that wasn't a knock, but that's what we call a trigger. That's associated with your door opening. So locking and unlocking the deadbolt, locking and unlocking the handle, and if there's a latch, the screen door, all of the things, all the sounds that are for the door, we want to counter condition him with each and every one. So he hears the latch, runs over here, gets a treat. Here's the, so we'll do it one more time.
Security system.
Not yet. Wait for me to get over here. So he's got to be close here, so don't do it if he's over there. So now go ahead, deadbolt, just once. Places. And we'll do it 2 times this time. Places. You have a security system. So that also would be a sound, and that didn't happen until the door opened. So what we want to do is systematically break the activity down into small individual steps, help him practice step over and over and over at the same step until he does what you want. Only then do we go to the next step. Practice at different times of the day. I wouldn't practice when people are here, but I would try to get him exercise before he practices. All right, let's do one more for the roll. We're going to do a head knock. Places. This is Roscoe. These are tips and tricks you can use if you have a dog that likes to charge the door, to teach them instead to move away from the door when they hear the doorbell knock or any of the sounds that are associated with it opening.